Hello. Today we're going to take a look at evaluating expressions. So when you evaluate something, that means to take a number, make a substitution into an expression, and then get a value back. So again, an expression is just has numbers and variables, no equal signs. So we're not going to have any equal signs today. We're going to be taking given values and making substitutions into our expressions. So I have some problems here. Let's go through and read directions. It says evaluate the following. Let A equals 2, let B equals -3, C equals a half, and D equals 4. So we're going to go through problems 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as listed down here below. So let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 says 3A plus D. So we're going to look up here at the top. It tells us what our A, B, C, and D are, and we're going to plug in the designated values into our expression. So A is 2, so notice I substituted 2 in. D is 4, and I substituted 4 in. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Just a little suggestion, I always try to put parentheses around whatever I'm substituting, because as we get into substituting variables and expressions, longer, more complex expressions, I want you to go ahead and get in the habit of putting parentheses around what you're plugging in. So I'm plugging in 2 and I'm plugging in 4. Then from here, we can use Desmos and we can type this in. Of course, this is an easy problem that you probably can do some mental math with, but I also want to make sure that you're comfortable typing stuff into Desmos. So I already typed mine in. So for example number 1, 10 should be our answer. So up here, I already typed that in and we should get 10. So the answer for number 1 is 10. Number 2, 4C. 4 times c squared. We're going to take our value that we got up there at the top. It says that c is a half. So again, we're going to put some parentheses around it. I plugged in 1/2, and then in Desmos, we're going to type in 4 parentheses 1/2 divided by 1 divided by 2 close parentheses, and then we're going to square it. And then we'll go over to Desmos and we'll type that in, and we get the following answer. So for number 2, our answer is 1. Of course, again, you can do mental math. I know a couple of you guys like to do mental math and things like that, which I don't mind. But if mental math is just taking too much time for you, or you feel like you're struggling with it, feel free to just type it in Desmos and get your answer. Number 3, D minus 2B. Up here at the top, I see that D is 4. So notice I made that substitution here down below. B is -3, so I made that substitution down below. Keep this subtraction sign here. That subtraction sign is stuck in the problem. It's not going to go anywhere, so I brought it straight down. Keep the 2, and then I'm plugging in -3. So plugging in -3. And then in Desmos, we would type 4 minus 2 times -3. And our answer for number 3, once we type it in, we should get positive 10. So far we got a couple answers that turn out to be 10, but that's okay. Back to the problem. Got a couple more we'll go over. Number 4, all of this is number 4. So C minus D, and then we're going to divide B. So all of this is my answer, is my problem. So we're going to plug in our numbers. C is a half, D is 4, and B is -3. So where C was in the problem, I plugged in a half. Where D was in the problem, I plugged in 4. And where B was in the problem, I plugged in -3. So we're doing 1/2 minus 4 divided by -3. Now, notice with this one, I didn't get a pretty number, so to speak, like I did for problems 1, 2, and 3. We got 1.16, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with improper fractions, decimals, things like that. As long as we typed it in correctly, which we did, notice we would have got this answer here. Be careful when you're typing it in. Make sure you type in your fractions top, bottom, so that the 1/2, all of that was still in the numerator, and then -3 was the only part in the denominator. And the last one that we'll take a look at, I have this problem here, -8c to the third plus 4a. Where I see c, I'm going to plug in a half. So notice I kept the -8, open parentheses, plug in my number, and I kept the 3, that's telling me it's to the third power. And then a up here at the top, it says that a is 2, so I was able to also plug that in. So -8, open parentheses, 1 divided by 2, close it to the third power, plus 4, open parentheses, 2, and then close it. And our answer for number 5 is 7. So the take-home point, if I recap for this, is to take whatever values that they give us. In this case, they told us that A was 2, B was -3, C was a half, and D is 4. So whatever numbers that they give us, we're going to take those numbers, make a substitution into our expression, and then we'll get a number back. And absolutely, you can use Desmos to type in your numbers and get your answers.